Hey guys, welcome to Mystifying Miracles. Glad you're here. Today I'm going to speak on God's protection and giving praises to Him. I'm going to dive right into it. Stay tuned. Did you know that the Psalms within the Bible are actually praises placed inside of poems? And the word praise itself is found within the Psalms 189 times. Each psalm is also considered a prayer. And back in the early days of the church, or the biblical times, if you will, those psalms were actually sang quite regularly. And today I'm going to read just two simple verses found in Psalms 34, verses 6 and 7. And these particular ones, David actually wrote at a very low point in time in his life. I mean, the lowest of lows. He was actually hiding out in a cave. He had been separated from his bestie, his best friend, who was Jonathan, and Saul was hunting him down, David, along with many of his assassins. So you can just kind of think from that right there, that sounds pretty terrifying, pretty scary. Yet, David did something completely opposite. He actually praised God. So I'm going to go ahead and read those two verses so we have reference of what I'm going to just touch on today. This wretched man cried out, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him and rescues them. So in these few verses, David has been speaking out and talking to God about his troubles. And he just calls upon God, please save me. I need help. God heard him and sent a miracle of deliverance. And then we go into verse 7, and then it talks about the angel of the Lord encamping around David. And did you know that God does the same for all who fear him? So not just some, but all. Now that word fear might catch you off guard, because I used to think about this verse and I'd think fear, but God is not fear. Shouldn't be scared of him. I didn't realize the implication and what it was actually meaning in this context. So basically, fear for the Lord is having a deep respect, a profound deep respect for God, who he is, and being in awe as well of who he is. And so these verses are touching on who does God send an angel to protect and save and or rescue? All who fear him and have that deep, profound respect. Isn't that encouraging to think upon? It is for me, because, in times of trouble and you call out to God, but you're not just calling him for help. If you're like David, who actually sang praises and danced and did all that in the midst of all this scariness as he's hiding out in this cave. So you kind of think, you're like, well, but it's found 189 times the word praise within the Psalms. There's got to be something to that, right? It's got to be important. And kind of going through these verses and making my notes and preparing for this, it reminded me of a time a few years ago during the pandemic. I did get COVID and I was in the hospital, and it was quite scary. And I called upon the Lord to please save me. I was scared. I will say that. It was just in this dark wing of this hospital. It looked almost 80s. It hadn't been updated, and they had everyone that had that separated. No one could go in. No one could go out. They would not let my family, my parents, stay. They did not let my mother. She wanted to stay the night, and that was, of course, when they wouldn't let you. And so I was left in this dark room, dark, quiet, no one. When I say no one, I mean no one. This hospital wasn't like the hospitals you normally see today. It was bizarre, and you could feel the spiritual heaviness, the darkness in there. That's what I think made it so scary at the time. And my faith was strong, but it wasn't where it is I guess compared to today, I was letting that fear overtake me at certain points. And I remember looking out the window after they made my family leave, and it was dark. It was nighttime. I couldn't sleep. I was sick as a dog, right? And I just remember talking to God and asking him, is this how I'm going? Like, is this, this is scary. Like, I want to go home. So it was a rough time. But I remember him speaking back to me as I was praying, just calling out to him. And he said that no, this is not your end. Not even close. So it was very brief. But it gave me the comfort I needed. I felt like he was there, as well as, the presence of possible angels. I didn't see them visually or anything, but I felt them spiritually, if that makes sense. It was a very big comfort to me, calling out to him. And I wish I would have thought and knew then during that specific time and times, in past, like I wish I would have known these verses from heart, to remember to praise God when you're scared, when you're in doubt, when you're all these things, and He will send that protection and that rescue that you need. Anyway, I thought that I'd share that with you guys. I hope this made an impact, or at least blessed you to hear it, these verses, and just think upon them next time you find yourself in a bind. Remember to have that deep, profound respect for God, and to give praises, even in all the chaos, right? I hope this blessed you. Thank you guys for watching, and I am going to see you for the next one.